Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the neighborhood. So, one day I was in Grapevine, Texas, and I don't live very far from there. And I was walking down their main street, and I looked in one of the windows of one of the stores, and there was a t shirt that says, "Sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come." I laughed. I thought that was really funny because I could relate. But if it was my shirt, then it would say, "Hey, I'm early, but it's because I'm leaving early." I am very muchly an introvert. And for introverts that are just like me, it is hard sometimes to be in all these social situations and not get tired or burnt out. And I've learned how to manage myself when I do get burnt out, right? When I've had too much contact with people, I go find the other introverts that are sitting out on a patio or that are sitting outside, or I just go take a quick walk around a building or a floor or something like that just to give myself a moment. So, what's really interesting though, when I was growing up, my mother would always say that I was a social butterfly. And she bought me this gold necklace with a gold butterfly on it. And one day I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. So I went to a jeweler or jewelry store and I bought this silver butterfly just kind of to remind me of my mom. And she passed almost 9 years ago. But it just made me think, like, I've always been an introvert, but to her and maybe to other people, I am social. And she would just say, like, I would just kind of flutter from, person to person, to place to place. And that does resonate with me, and it is who I am as a person. I was once on a cruise with somebody, and they were just speaking to everybody. I'll say maybe speak to 200 people in a day and ask me, why aren't you speaking to people? Why don't you say hello or good morning? And I said, I don't want to speak to everybody that I see on this ship. That's a lot of people, that's a lot of talking, and I just don't even see the point of it. And I said, but there was one person that I met in the casino, and just we sat to the side and we were talking just about her life. She told me about losing her husband, the grief process that she was going through, the person she was on the cruise with. And so she and I had a really deep conversation and not just something that was just a surface. I would rather have the deep conversations with people with one person than to speak to hundreds of people. And it's just perspective. If that's your thing, you want to speak to everybody, then that's fine. But don't look down on the people that just want to have a deep conversation with one person. And that's who I am and how I am. I was getting my nails done yesterday and I was getting a pedicure actually. And the guy that was doing my pedicure, I asked him, I was like, so do you own this company or do you own this place? And he said no. And I said, do you like what you're doing? And he was like, it's okay. And I said, well, what else do you want to do? What does life look like for you? What's your retirement plan? Are you going to retire from here? And he said, no. Have you thought about going to school? And he said, well, not really. And he was like, I don't know what I would study. And I said, that's the thing. If you're going to go to school, you just start with one class at a time. You have about 30 hours of basic classes that you need to take. So why not go ahead and give that a try? And so he and I just communicated and we kind of talked and brainstorming some of the possibilities for him. And then when I left, I told him that I got my bachelor's degree, 18 out of college. And then I got a master's degree when I was 45. I've said before, 4 kids, working full time. And I said, if I could do that, you could do it as well. You could get it done. Whatever that training or whatever that education is, I believe that you could do it as well. And he told me after he was done and he was packing up, he said, you really inspired me. And I am going to look into maybe going back to school. And that's what I like. One-on-one conversation. How can I, just through casual conversation, just kind of talk to people, get to know them. I'll never see the people again, which is fine because sometimes we're just here to plant a seed and then to walk away. It is not for us to add fertilizer, to water it, to nurture it or anything. It's just to till the ground, or maybe the ground has already been tilled and you're adding the seed, or you might be the person that's watering, you might be the fertilizer. But my point is just one person at a time that we can go in and make a difference. Back to being an introvert. I am very muchly an introvert. I really don't mind being at home alone. I don't mind being in a quiet space. I don't mind going out to eat or to the movies or something like that by myself. I don't mind any of those things. But I also don't mind being in large spaces with people as long as I get an opportunity to take a break and to be able to replenish myself. Sometimes I don't replenish myself and I'm done for the night. And I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm going to go to bed. And that's it. And again, that's okay. In the world of introverts, extroverts, and the people in between, I just say embrace who you are. And also, you can be an introvert like I very muchly am and still make a difference in people's lives. You can still build a community, you can still be a part of a community, and you can still contribute to the community. I text people randomly all the time and just like, hey, you were on my mind. How are you? I was thinking about you. Who doesn't want to get a random text from somebody saying that they were thinking about you? When you know that they're genuine and you know that you've built a good rapport with them, I think it's a great feeling. I love it when people text me out of the blue. It's like, oh, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you? And it's a quick conversation. It doesn't turn into anything, or quick texting doesn't turn into anything. That's the end of it. Catching up with people. Sometimes we need to make others feel special and thought about and make them realize that they are special to somebody and that somebody can be you. The thing about the community is being able to get outside of ourselves and go and have that conversation. So again, if your thing is saying hi to a lot of people and hey, you look great, I love your hair, look at your shoes, oh, I love the shirt, whatever that thing is, if that's your thing, then do your thing, because all of that pulls people in or maybe makes them feel good about themselves in the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that is something that's an easy win for you and for them, because you can say at the end of the day or at the end of the week, the end of the month, or the end of the year, that you at least put a smile on somebody's face. And a smile is free. It doesn't cost anything. A lot of the things that I'm talking about are like giving your time, giving your money, giving your energy and effort. These are little things that won't cost you a whole lot. To send a text message is seconds. And then somebody in turn will send a text message to you, which again should be uplifting, I hope. And if you're in a place where it's not uplifting, then get with somebody. There are different numbers you can call. I'll put a number in the chat if there's something like that you need. But for the rest of us, if you can be the person that's doing the uplifting, if you can be the one that's smiling and saying good morning, if you can be the one that says like a light compliment, I love your earrings, be that person, so why not? All right, y'all. Have a great day. I hope you're doing well.